Brazil. A
Gotcha.
lot of people
That's a
went to
lot.
Brazil, bro.
That, that's all I needed to hear. Okay, so now you believe that. Now
Yeah.
everybody heard him say that he believes that West Africans, which migrated from Iberia or Spain or whatever, a lot of these Africans, Jews, basically migrated to West Africa, in which he's making a statement that these West Africans are actually the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Now check
No,
this out.
Levi. There's a lot.
The Levi. He's the
I said that
Levi.
because if you look at the customs, bro, like it relates to a lot of to the Levites. That's what I'm been
Is
saying.
that? I
Got
You know what
thought
I'm
he
saying?
said that
got
it was the West Africans, the North Africans went into Iberia and then went back into West Africa. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, because
no,
of the
brother, no,
Vatican
no.
goes out too, like in 1492. But there was Israelites
Right,
prior
right.
in Spain. Yeah, that's what I'm
No.
saying.
Yeah, but
Oh,
Shaw, he's not wrong because I think there were
okay, hold
some
on,
Jews that
hold on,
came
brother.
to Spain.
Right, right. No, I heard, we heard these arguments time and time again, bro. So hold on, give me a minute. Give me a minute. I just lost my page, but hold on. I'm gonna read you guys this real quick, and then we're gonna see. All right. So it says, how did the black Jews of Spain became Jews? Right. It says after the fall of Carthage, many Carthaginians of Phoenicians. Now we know the Carthage. Where was Carthage? North Africa, right?
In Tunisia,
Uh,
Yeah.
modern
I'm
Well,
Tunisia.
not
that
sure,
was
Right.
bro.
that was North Africa, right?
Yeah, Algeria. Yeah, right next to Algeria. Yep.
Got you. Okay, so I'm gonna read it again. It says, after the fall of Carthage, many Carthaginians and Phoenicians became Jews. Origin of Jews of Spain, a Carthaginian colony. This is basically the article that I'm about to read. It says, the fall of Carthage marked the end of the Phoenician Carthaginian civilization, which Arnold J. Toynbee, Toynbee, class as part of the Syriac civilization. Let me see. I lost it. I lost the page.
You think you could read that again a little bit clearly? I didn't understand that.
Yeah, you gotta mute your mic, bro, because somebody's making noise. Hold on. All right, got you. It was right there.
Let me know when you're done, bro, so I could have a scripture real quick.
The Wilder, you think like the Negroid people, like Yoruba, like Nigerians, Yoruba, like people in Benin, or they more like people who look like Berbers and Tuaregs today?
Well, they went into Africa, so they must have mixed in with the people, bro. So just like
No,
when they went to in Spain, bro, they obviously had mixed with the people too. So it was like right here, like a bunch of Hispanics, like LA, bro, kind of, or
like
California. You know what I'm saying?
would you say
Shalom.
like
Can you
como
brothers hear
puede
me or no?
ser mulatto, like a mulatto? Is that what you're saying?
Um,
Como un mulatto, like a modern Hispanic.
Shalom. Can you brothers hear me or
yeah,
no?
like Shemitic,
Como,
like
como,
with
como un
ham and stuff
caribeño.
like that.
Se like como un caribeño, ¿no?
No,
Mm.
well,
Simón,
how you
pero
call it?
lo escuchamos.
Like a
Like
modern
what you call like un
Caribbean.
moreno, bro. What we call moreno these days. Like
No.
the people that in Brazil, in el Caribe.
Can you brothers hear me or no?
Okay, I know what he's saying. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Come a lot.
All right, all right, all right.
Salam,
So let me
salam,
let me
alaikum.
let me let me
But
Mashallah.
let me let me
because they
finish reading
went
the
right there
article.
too.
Go ahead,
Let me
Sean.
finish. Let me finish the article, bro, because I don't know what's going on with the internet here. All right, so it says after the fall of Carthage, many Carthaginians and Phoenicians became Jews. Origin of Jews of Spain, a Carthaginian colony. The fall of Carthage marked the end of the Phoenician Carthaginian civilization, which Arnold J. Toynbee classed as part of the Syriac civilization. After the destruction of Carthage by Rome, many Carthaginians and Phoenicians converted to Judaism because Jerusalem was the only remaining center of West Semitic civilization. Spain had been a Carthaginian colony. This conversion by Carthaginians is likely origin of the large Jewish communities of Spain and North Africa. You see, so a lot of these communities of Africans being called the Black Jews and Southern Kingdom, the War or whatever is done, but it was done by conversion because of what we just read. Let me keep reading. Hold on. let's see, where's it at? Okay.
Yeah, Shalaki. I know exactly what brother Yash is bringing out. He's talking about a lot prior to the Al Andalus Islamic Caliphate that was established by Moorish North Africans in the
Yeah,
Iberian
that's
Peninsula, the
yeah,
So,
that's
Portugal
part
and
of the.
España.
but we need to distinguish from the Negroid race, from the Arabians, and from the North Africans who are related to the Egyptians.
Calm,
Because
beautiful,
when we
beautiful. That's
had,
that's right. Even nowadays, true. Shalakia, true. Shalakia for that.
yeah, because when we
Yeah,
had that debate, we that's why I was trying to tell the conscious community and the Hebrews is how do you distinguish a North African from a sub-Saharan
well,
and
we already brought that out. Like Jose Vega did a class on like a lot of the gypsies that live like in that area. You have a lot of the Berbers. You have a lot of there's a lot of people that look like so-called Hispanics in the land of I think Moor. Yeah, I think there's a yeah Moor.
Con,
Moors.
sí, cierto.
Hey, Eric, the brother we have a friend on Facebook, Osama Hassan.
There you go. Yeah, somehow
Can you
he
hear
could be
me?
like a North African. Shalakia.
No, I'm talking to Eric. Eric,
yeah,
yeah, you know the brother I'm talking about, right?
yeah.
Osama Hassan on Facebook. I know you're friends with him. Like he be dropping a lot of good knowledge about the original
Oh
Egyptians and stuff
yes,
like that.
yes.
And he makes them look like basically almost like Arab looking.
I
You know what
told
I'm
him
saying?
because like he learned a lot of stuff from me, and he came into my text and was like, so we was talking. I was like, who's your parent? What they look like, and he showed me the pictures of his parents, and his mom is Arab, and his father is Egyptian, so he's half and half. So it's like, but he looks just like the Pharaoh Seti, bro. Straight identical like Seti the first. And that's what I was saying about the debate because the Arabs are mixed with Hagar, who are Hagarites. And that's how the Saudi Arabian became looking like Egyptians. They were half Hebrews and half Egyptians.
Shalakia, yeah, that's that. But Yash and Jose brought out the topic. I also added on to what I was. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just complimenting everybody saying right here because the Shemitic identity in North Africa is not spoken about, and I actually bring that up when I talk to so-called Hamites. When we're talking about the Shemitic identity and the migration of Muslims or Arabics through the north, through Egypt, Ethiopia, into North Africa, and their conquering of North Africa, basically, and the Moor is basically like a derogatory term for a darker person, like saying, vales queso, eres un moro, eres un negrito, you know what I mean?
Right.
Right. And
Pero,
Yeah.
to
Let
build
me.
on top of that came into be popularized in the 1920s when a lot of the Caribbeans, like you was talking about, moved to New York to up north because we came from the Caribbeans. We went to New York to up north first, and then that
Well,
was popularized
which
calling
one?
blacks morenos.
Which ones are you talking about? Because remember, back in the 1400s, there was a lot of African presence that was basically shipped from the Caribbean islands back to Georgia, Atlanta, and all those places. You got a lot of basically a lot of Afro-Caribbean people that were arrived to the Caribbean via ships or slavery trade, right?
Louisiana,
Yeah, exactly. All those sections, they're basically you have a mixture of various Africans there that go back to the Caribbean islands, but they're not really like the natives, but they're more like the slaves that arrived there back in the 1400s by Spain. So, are you talking about those, or are you talking about actual Native Americans, indigenous people that actually went or were moved to New York and Georgia and all those areas? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm referring to like the Puerto Ricans. When we moved to New York, we started calling like Negroid people, like African Americans. We started calling them Moreno, but before that, we called them Prieto.
Prieto, Prietito,
Sí,
yeah.
yeah. And but that's just our culture, you know what I'm saying? It might be different for Mexican people, but that's how the Morenos were
No,
being called
that's basically
because we used to call them that.
It's the same
that's
thing.
basically like, yeah, that's basically like a Shemitic mindset, because we brought this out many times.
Shemitic
Like for
mindset. Sí, cierto.
example, you got in the book of Zechariah. Remember Zechariah chapter 1 verse 1, when it talks about the father of Zechariah was named what? Cush, right?
I'm muted out, bro. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Oh, okay, okay. So yeah. So in the book of Zechariah, chapter 1 verse 1, it says that the father of Zechariah was his name was Cush. Now immediately, a lot of these camps, a lot of these one west camps, use that verse to say, you see, Zechariah's father was a so-called black Negro man because his name was Cush, and we know that the word Cush means what? Black, right? So now, mind you, like you were saying, like even within our communities, like we call each other negrito. Like my sister is black, my brother's black, and we call them negritos, negrita, negrito, like as a word of endearment, like little black, little black. You know what I'm
A mí
saying?
me,
So for us calling ourselves, like for example, I'm like light skinned, so they call me like white. But does that mean that I'm actually Edomite or like a so-called European? Of course not. But within our communities, within that's like a Shemitic mindset that we have. When we see like within our community, we see like someone that looks like white. We call them what? Güero, like güero or blanco, right? When we see someone that is dark hue, we call them negrito. But that doesn't mean automatically that, oh well, this that black is basically African American. Like we were saying earlier. Remember we were saying that is doesn't mean that that's phenotype. We're not talking about phenotypes when we talk about negrito, blanquito, or like white or negro amongst
And on
ourselves.
two, Ashar, a lot of the Moorish Empire did mix in with the Negro slaves that they had, and they created a lot of mulatto también. And the word Moor also means from the word maroon, and the color maroon is more like ruddy. We brought this out in my debate. I don't know if Jose's still there, but yeah, we brought that out. You know what I'm saying?
There
What
there was
part?
a lot of Israelites
The part where you were saying
that
that
converted to Islam though,
the
and West
ruddy
Africa, but they're
Yeah,
the
Adam
in
Israelites.
ruddy,
Spanish, marrón is maroon. Marrón, when you talk about
right?
reddish is marrón, like el color marrón. Tengo los pantalones marrón or whatever. Right, I see what you're
Right,
saying.
right,
Simón.
right. Like it might be like it's similar to burgundy, but it's not. But like maroon, that's where the Moor come from. So they were trying to say that moreno means black, but it doesn't actually means black. It means like a mulatto mix, and that's why the Africans Americans got a little bit lighter, like a mulatto. And then that's how they started becoming more
Ah,
because Moreno's
yeah.
a maroon. Yep.
Hey, Shalak, I got a question. Does anybody know in Spain what do they call an African? Do they just call him un africano o le dicen negro? ¿Alguien sabe eso?
Afri- africanos, siempre les llamamos africanos,
Africanos.
como
Nunca, I never hear a un moreno que le digan a negro. Le dicen, ah, mira, es un africano. We never call him a moreno or prieto. We
yeah.
call ourselves that because we don't like calling ourselves indio or hindiri. They even say hindiri. We don't say that. That's an offense. So we say, oh, you're moreno or prieto. Right. Yes, that's totally
Yoshi,
right.
Yoshi, show you.
What are you?
Yo,
Are
yo,
you Mexican American
yeah.
or
Oh no, I'm
Okay, so
native.
so
I'm
so check this out, right?
I'm
Right.
Mazatec Indian from Oaxaca. I'm
Yeah.
Mazatec, Mazateca.
Yeah.
Oh,
So check
okay,
this out.
okay, okay. Yeah, I'm from the Caribbean, so it might be different. Like our culture might be a little different what we call them. I see.
Yoshi,
I'm what you call paisa
Yoshi,
looking. So Indio. Mande,
Yoshi,
mande.
stay there, but stay there, stay there. I'm gonna make an example. You see, now let me take the coming out so you brothers can see Yoshi's face. Now, Yoshi right here, he's a Shemite. He will be considered like a negro Shemite. You see, but just because he's considered like a negro Shemite, like a black Shemite, like right here, Yoshi is a black Shemite, does not mean that he's African. You can clearly see he's not an African man. So that term that we're using, like negro, like moreno or black amongst ourselves, does not automatically mean that, oh, he's African, therefore he's African automatically, like a lot of these West Africans and one West camps teach and basically push that ideology every time they find the word black. Like I gave you the example in Zechariah chapter 1 when Zechariah's father's name is named Cush, and Cush means black. So again, that's a great example right here. Joshua is the greatest example that there are Negro, black Israelites or Shemites amongst ourselves. So
Yeah, yo soy Mazateca. Proud Mazatec from Oaxaca.
Oh yeah, yeah, bro. You look like your ancestors, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I think I got you on my friends list though, bro. I seen you before, but yeah. But you,
That's
but if you get a DNA test, it will tell you if you have any like Africano lineage. Because I know some of us did mix with it, but not a lot. You know, I mean, there's still some pure Mexicans that didn't mix. So I'm trying to tell
and
these brothers, like, bro, not a lot of the natives mix, like mixed out and became extinct, bro.
Khan, Shalak, I mean interrupt you. And
Well,
Oaxaca is a good example. The white man never could conquer Oaxaca. There was not the only black people you see are on the coast, so it's all native. It's an example of how all of Latino America is actually in the
well,
majority. And the reason
let
we have
me
Chinky, Chinese looking Asian people, Asian looking people, is Ishmaelite looking people or Hindu looking people, is because of the Northern Kingdom migration route. ¿Me explico?
let me add to what
No.
Eric was saying.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, Eric, what you just said, I disagree with what you just said because check this out. I'm gonna give you the greatest example that DNA doesn't really work because
Because people move.
yeah, that too, but also like the fact, like for example, the greatest example will be what's his name, Bob Marley, right? Bob Marley had children with black women, and his children look like black men. Like you would see Bob Marley's children, and you would think that they're basically Africans. Now, if they were to do a test, right? If they were to do a test, like they would have most African within them, and so on and so forth. Mind you, his father was a so-called white man, right? But the idea of bringing him out is that, like, I think I posted an article saying that, like, within the African American community, they're the most diverse and most mixed amongst all the populace on the planet. And despite their phenotypes, meaning what? Meaning a so-called black person, so-called Negro, meaning so-called West African or African American, can look like one of the West Africans, literally, but when you really go into their lineage or whatever, they're basically the most mixed. So so then that you can disregard all the phenotypes and whatever the like and the woolly hair and the big lips and all that stuff, because at the end of the day that doesn't really matter, because anybody can look like dark skin and look like the indigenous and stuff, but at the end of the day, like, there's some admixture within it somewhere in there, bro. So we can't always judge a book by its cover, you know. That's why we gotta go by the spirit. Like when we read in the book of Romans chapter 8, like the spirit bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. So again, like blood, genetics, phenotypes, and so on and so forth. That doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, like, these outside body, our biology, bro, like our meat suits, they're just that, meat suits. They're just the covering, but the essence of ourselves lies within us. You know, it lies within ourselves. Like the essence, the spirit of Jacob lies within us. It's like an egg. An egg can be white or an egg can be brown, but the very essence of an egg is not in the outside shell, it's in the inside. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically Israelites. Oh, that's why we call the speckled bird, because we're really like, we're literally various nations within 12 tribes. Like, literally, we mix with Edomites, we mix with Ammonites, we mix with Moabites, we mix with Egyptians, we mix with Canaanites, we mix with like Assyrians, we mix with Babylonians, we mix with various nations, man, all throughout the world, literally all throughout the world. And this is the actually the actual representation of us being in the four corners of the earth. Meaning what? The four corners of the earth means what? Mean various nations.
Yeah, we all look like different stuff,
That's
you know.
true.
Can I
That's
respond?
Uh,
facts.
Can I So when you look at the DNA, Ashar, we're going off the autosomal DNA, which the autosomal is basically the DNAs that you inherit. So you brought up what's his name?
Bob Marley.
What Bob Marley, right? A mulatto. He was half black, half white. So the autosomal DNA, it basically the DNA that we're actually looking at and testing, it's the inheritance of what is more recessive and which is more dominant. So when you look at another example like Mariah Carey is a mulatto woman, but she might be looking, more on the white side because her mom DNA is more dominant, and her father, which is a black man, is more recessive. So
Well,
when
yeah,
we talk, yeah. So when we
yeah.
do the DNA
That's what you
test,
that's what you call the mitochondrial DNA, bro. That's which is the
That's the
mother
first
side,
I've heard.
and this is why a lot of the Jewish people believe that your bloodline.
Hey, that's the first time I've heard that. What do you mean when you said that the mother who's white she has more dominant genes
right, right,
than
right.
the black
Yep,
father?
yep.
Where do you get that from? Like mostly I hear that black genes are more dominant than
Yeah.
white
I
genes.
think a lot of people like to lie, but so depending on the DNA and the parents and who has the more dominant genes is the most likely autosomal DNA is where you're gonna guess. There is it's called the SNP. This it's called a singular nucleus polymorphic, and they called their subclades. And within each subclade within the DNA, each parent gives on their DNA, and depending on the parent, which dominant genes through natural selection is stronger, that kid that has, that children will have more features more than the mother than the father. You see what I'm saying? Like you can look more like your father than your mother because of the dominant genes. That's what an autosomal is. You get me? It's a little tricky, bro. It gets real deep.
I just thought that blonde hair was recessive. I thought that people growing bald is a recessive gene. I thought that people with like blue eyes, green eyes is like recessive. I've never heard it really being
Right.
like in the
So there's
dominant.
another thing in DNA they call alleles. And within the DNA structure, these alleles will basically determine on your building blocks to give you blonde hair, give you blue eyes, give you this color skin, lightest color skin. It tells the DNA of how you're gonna look like, which colors these things are. But that's another miss, a fallacy that's going on with the blonde hair recessive. The people have blonde hair because we could stem it back to the Nordic race and the people from the Germanic race from the north. And the code and the environment determines the racial structures of the people. For example, if you look at a person from the north in the more colder where there's less radiation from the sun, you're gonna more a more lighter skin, and your nutrition is going to determine if you're going to be.
How, how is that? How is that possible when you have Eskimos who are dark as hell and they live all the way like in the
Well,
coldest
the
regions?
Eskimos they migrated, so they nomadic people. So sometimes, but we know that the Eskimos people are super light, like Mongols from Siberia. But then when you get more southern is when you see more skin color. So for example, if you look at more Southeast Asia, and the Polynesians, and you look more into the Oceanic islands in South Asia, you can see those people are much darker. So that's why people in South America is much darker than the Indians in the north. So it's dealing with the environment. So the Negroid people, they if you look at them, they're very skinny, and like if you look at them, they're very skinny, and some could be dark because the radiation of the
But
skin,
but
it's the
if
environment.
it's by the climate, but if it's by the climate, right? Africa, you saying that the reason why blacks or people North and South America are dark is because they're basically because they're closer to the equator,
Yeah,
right? That's
yeah,
what you're
yeah.
basically
They're more
saying.
closer to the radiation.
Okay, so isn't China? Isn't China and Japan also
No,
closer to the
I
equator?
think it
But those
snows in
Asians,
I
a
think it
lot of
snows there,
all those Asians, like
and I think it
where
snows in those countries that you mentioned, Japan and yeah.
in China. But they're if you look on the map, they're right there along the equator, right next to Africa.
What degrees are you referring to? Like,
I'm just talking about the equator itself.
I don't know.
Like
I don't have the map. I got to look at the map to know 100% sure. But I just know that the lighter skin
Russia's
Chinese.
cold. I know Russia's cold because like Russia's cold because
Yeah,
it's more up, north. But if you look at the map, China's right under, right there. The right if you look at the map, like it's right next to India, directly right next to India. India is right directly next to the what you call
I
sub-Saharan
I
Africa.
gotta look at the degrees again. I don't think China is in the 0 degrees. I think more is be like Australia. That's why they're more darker, and the people in the Polynesians. You see what I'm saying? So the Chinese people are actually from the Mongols, who we call the Magog, Gog and Magog, right? So those Mongoloid people come from the north, from Siberia, and then went into North America. But then we also see that they also became the Hans dynasty, and that's how you can see kind of the anthropology and the culture. It's very similar to the northern Chinese and Siberians.
Who, the natives?
No, no, no. Well, we're talking about the Eskimos, North America. We're not talking about like United States. We're not. You know what I'm saying? The states with Siberia and China is, and Mongol. Mongol is the father to the Chinese race, and then they mix in with some Shemites that came from the south to Polynesia, and that's how those people arose.
Hey, what about, have you heard, like, what about the, Shem? Shem, like they came to the descendants of Shem, that they came to these lands too. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. I think like Elam, the son of Shem, which
Hey,
the progenitor of India in the east. That's possible.
yeah, cause you know how they have shaman, like, what I'm talking about, and how
Like
the and
shamanism.
the
Is that what you're saying?
yeah, but it was like they were connected to the spiritual. Like, if you look in the history, prior, what I'm talking about, like they're
They were like
because
healers. They were like
they were
spiritual healers.
yeah, there were different eras, what I'm talking about, and
Hmm.
originally they were teaching like what the wisdom of Yahweh says, pretty much. But later to the time, like when the Olmecs and the Aztec Mayans and all that stuff, like during that those period of times, little by little, people started forgetting the original teachings, and that's what like we call conquer, because we lost our way of communicating with each other and stuff like that. Know what I'm talking about? I think something like that. And we read like the history over here and right here too. There was different like different shades of different colors, different shades of brown, all around here too, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
California, and North America, you know.
All
Well,
races from different colors, though. That's the whole point,
when
man.
you
Even
speak of skin pigmentation too, you know what I'm saying? Skin pigmentation is not dealing with genetics. Skin pigmentation is dealing with more racism with the physical feature. So I
Yeah,
think a lot of a lot of people today got a misnomer thinking that a black or dark person is automatically a Negroid. When we know there's other dark races out there that's not related to the Negroid race and the people in sub-Sahara. You know what I'm saying?
right, like the
like
Hindus, bro. Like the Hindu
Indian,
will be like
like
the darkest of it. As a matter of fact, there I think there's like they're classified like a blue. There's like a blue hue within the communities of the Hindu people in India, bro. So there will be like they will be considered the darkest of them all on the earth, and yet they're not Hamitic, phenotypes like people. They don't have woolly hair, and so on and so forth. So that's the argument right there.
and also the house of Joseph, bro, during time of Egypt, descendants too. Like different time with different times, like people came to these lands like Israelites and stuff, to be honest, at different time zones, and then so like there's different things, and then we multiply with a lot of people, you know stuff like that, and we were talking about earlier about the Levites, as I was saying, bro, like a lot of people you look at it like in Brazil. Have you checked out the favelas? Have you heard about the favelas in Brazil?
No, bro, bring it out.
The
Oh
favelas,
yeah,
the villas.
favelas. Well, it's like a lot of people like they came from the West Africa. You know what I'm saying? They came right there, and they're being oppressed right down by the favelas. You know, right there, and if you read on Genesis 49 and what is it? 49 and 5. It says Simeon and Levi are brothers, enters of Cuti are on their dwelling place. Let not so enter the council, let not the honor be unified as their assembly. For in their anger they slew man, and their cell will slew the Hanshon and ox, cursed be their anger for his fierce, and his wrath for his cruel, and I will divide him and Jacob and scatter them in Yasharel. So he scattered them too, you know. So if you think about it, so and a lot of people that went to Brazil, and a lot of people went to the Caribbean, and some people went to the United States, you know, and they're being oppressed to this day, bro. So like, if you check out the favelas, and you see how they going at it with the cops and stuff, and like they're being oppressed. They don't have anything. They're like in ghettos, like what you call ghettos, like for reals, like in the mountains, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. They're living in slums in Rio de Janeiro, in Brasilia,
Yeah,
and all those places.
yeah, right there, bro. You know, and then it's true like how they like there's a lot of like violence and stuff going on. Have you read it? You know, especially among like the community and like especially the cops like being up like going at it. You know, and that especially with the corporations too, that they go in there and like pretty much oppress like pretty much the people on top. You know, so
The
yeah,
same,
that's
the
pretty
same,
interesting. You know.
the same thing in Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay. A lot of our native brothers, a lot of
Yeah,
Amazonian people, or in Peru, they a lot of cholos, not gang members, but they call them cholos, Indios, and natives. They get picked on because there's still a systematic, and even more oppressing system there against natives
yeah,
or against
and it's
anybody that's not, exactly.
calm, bro. And you
Yeah,
know
that's
who it
true.
was? The CIA, bro, the FBI, bro. If you look at history, bro, they conquered South America throughout all the lands, bro, and Central America, and made the people divide, bro. And they brought and what they do, they bring in the all the stuff, they bring it to the community over here, and they keep us distracted, like, cause there are people too, not just United States, bro. You
The
know,
current the
and
current Brazilian president, he fucks with Mossad, the Israeli intelligence agency. His sons have a lot of these Israeli government affiliated uh insignia on their shirts that they take pictures with, saying they support the synagogue of Satan, basically. So I know what you mean. Huh?
yeah, bro, it's crazy, bro. That's why like. Yeah, so like this is throughout the lands, bro. And you know what? You think we're right now we're in Egypt, right? You think it's Egypt right now, right? Like Egypt. So like
Yeah, it's spiritually Rome, Egypt. Yeah.
yeah, so like even I was reading how they well, during the time of Joseph they call it the second land of Egypt, bro. They even got it Aslam, bro. And if you see it, I read it somewhere, bro. That's what it said, bro. The second land of Egypt. But you think about it, so we're in Egypt right now, and like so what we're gonna talk these politicians like Pharaoh was like how you call it? He was like the what you call the president or the head of the of right here, you know. So we should
The
tell him like
empire,
what
the head of
yeah